Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review. And this has been interesting because I've been back at the supermarket, back in Tesco's in fact, and I found a kind of beer off, standoff, something off, don't know. Anyway, yeah, it is. This is the first one. It's south. And it's kind of a north v south or a south v north in this one. They are both DDH double dry hopped IPAs, which was the beer we had yesterday, which was kind of cool. And this time we've got Yonder, looks like BBNO or Brewing by Numbers, and can't quite see what that other one is. Will it zoom in on that? Come on, dude, focus on that. Staggeringly good. So those ones. And obviously it's a double dry hop beer. And if we look, not doing too much on the focus, but yeah, you can scan one of these QR jobbies and you can vote whether you think this one's better than the one I'm going to have tomorrow. So it's a north v south or a south v north, all that kind of nonsense. Right, let's see if the camera, let me try, and it always seems to work better when I hold it closer and then pull it back. Okay, so to represent the south, we've got Brewing by Numbers in London with Yonder in Somerset and Staggeringly Good in Portsmouth, which is Hampshire. This trio of southern breweries have produced a double dry hopped IPA, soft and juicy, naturally hazy, got some oats in it. Oh, thumbs up for that. Giving a silky mouthful. They're using American hops with aromas of citrus, mango, and pine. And you can obviously vote for them. Doesn't say, I don't think it says exactly. No, it doesn't. Exactly the hops that they use, but we can give it a bit of a guess. It's all the normal kind of hops that people are using these days. Pine, obviously it's going to be Citra. And it's a double dry hopped. It didn't say the IBUs, I think, on this can. So north v south or south v north or whatever. Wow, it's not giving me much head at all. Just kind of crazy. Right, let me do a quick inspection here. Well, first of all, definitely cloudy. I managed to force just under a finger's head, and that is perfect white bubbly clouds, soft and smooth. Right, what was I going to do? Oh yeah, IBUs. No, doesn't give me that information, and I didn't bother checking. Right. Interesting. Definitely getting pine. I'm also getting that kind of mintiness along with a bit of kind of pith, you know, like a pineapple-y, grapefruity pith kind of thing. Yeah, maybe a touch of that kind of mango-y, tropical kind of thing that's going on. I had better do a funny face like I do sometimes, and yeah, go, oh, Saf. We'll see where we get to. Oh dear, craziness. Anyway, cheers and beers. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the yeah, now it's into the weekend. The temperature has got really cold, man. It's like dropped through the floor. It was like in the 20s last weekend, and it's like 14 or something today. Anyway, cheers, guys. Oh, now that's interesting. I'm getting a kind of green hedgerow thing, but it definitely contains that minty thing, which I can't remember. Is it Idaho 7 or one of those type hops that has that minty flavour? I can't remember. But there's definitely, yeah, definitely that mango, maybe a touch of peach. The grassiness is there too, but not so much. So, which is surprising because I would have thought, well, Citra is the most grown hop in the world, as I've said before. So you would have thought they chuck loads in. I have to say, it is not very bitter at all. This is definitely along the lines of a kind of milkshakey kind of thing. And yeah, it's got a bit of residual sweetness, a bit too much in my book. Mm, definitely got that creaminess, which is from the oats, no doubt. And look, we're getting some nice tide lines on there, which is always a good sign. I like that very much. But yeah, just not quite enough bitterness for me, which is weird because that was more or less the same as the Garden Brewery, which has nothing to do with these two beers that I drank yesterday. So this is kind of a similar type of beer. However, this one is 7% alcohol as well. And although my first mouthful was quite sweet, it's now kind of balanced out. So nicely balanced. I still think if you're going to do an IPA, you do need a bit of hot bite at the beginning. I know. Oh, it's a milkshake or it's Neva, blah blah blah. But yeah, this one doesn't have enough. What they've done, they've stuck all the hop, not all obviously, but the majority of the hops in the dry hop, maybe the whirlpool. I would be very, very surprised if this boil lasted more than 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. It's probably not a whole hour's boil or anything near that. Whoa. It is very much on trend, on point, because it's so easy drinking. You would not think this was a 7% beer. Um, I think you could get in trouble with this because, yeah, I think here in the UK, the normal, well, the drink driving limit is 1 pint of like 3.5% beer. I think that's how they work it out. So if you had a pint of this, you'd have two, you'd be twice over the limit with one beer. Yes, you do have to be careful. Let's see if it says on the side. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't think it says unless it's very, very small. Oh yeah, it does. You see that? Boy, that red thing is. That red bit. Dun dun dun. Come on, focus, damn you. 3.1 UK units. Drink aware. So technically, this beer at 3.1 units of alcohol you can't drive after this. You have to wait sort of half an hour or something after you've had it. And I'm loving the tide lines. One big one up there, which was the first pour. Second sip, third sip, fourth sip, and then gone. Boom. That is a pretty good beer. The Garden Brewery one I had yesterday, I think, when I did my Untapped score, which I don't always say what I'm going to score it on the video. Sometimes I did, but I think I scored it like something like 4.25. So that's pretty good. Anything over a 4 out of 5 is a very, very good beer. And this one, I'd have to say, is very similar. So a 4, maybe if I'm feeling great. Pardon me. A 4.25. Might mark that up because it's a 7% beer. And the one yesterday was only a 6% beer. So the south, in the north-south, or in this case, the south-north, yeah, very, very cool. And look at that. They've got a nice skyline of London, mate. I don't know what that... oh, I think the dinosaur's something to do with Yonder, isn't it? I think they have dinosaurs in there, kind of thing. And what does that say? Morden Wharf. Morden? Yeah. Look, some more dinosaurs drinking their thing. Oh, actually, Yonder have got something to do with what's the names? Flying. What are those things called? Balloons. Balloonies. So maybe Staggeringly has something to do with the dinosaurs. Morden, which is in South London, very near Wimbledon, Wandsworth, Putney, my old stomping ground. I used to live down that way. Yeah, nice place in London. Lots of nice breweries down there as well. And it's a real shame because when I lived there weren't that many breweries there. There was that massive brewery down by the river where we used to watch the those guys in the boats do the boat race, the old Oxford and Cambridge. What was it? Was it Young's? No. What was that brewery? Oh, Sugar. Right by the river, which is now not a brewery at all, which is a real shame. Which one was it? I can't remember. I think it was it Whit? No, it wouldn't be Whitbread. Oh, I can't remember. It was one of the Fuller's. Was it a Fuller's brewery? Can't remember. But it was one of the very, very big breweries that kind of got moved out, slowly sold off their buildings and then moved out of London altogether, which is a real shame. Anyway, that is what happens when you're in the south. When you're up in the north, up north, you can afford to buy property and land because there's loads of land. Down south, it's fucking expensive. Anyway, so us down south, we have really set a good benchmark. See what those northern monkeys, those southern Jessies, see what we get tomorrow when we go up north. Anyway, guys, it's been Unclejona. Do all the right things, click and all that kind of nonsense. We'll see you tomorrow. Shum on.